Zayre's was a chain of discount stores that operated in the eastern half of the United States from 1956 until 1990. Welcome to Eric Z Productions. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified of my latest video that are posted during the week. Be sure to hit that like button and leave a suggestion or a comment. You might see that video in a future posting. Dino Marshall suggested that I do this video, Zayre Department Store.
Notebook paper.
If you're the kind of shopper who goes to Zayre with only one thing in mind.
Notebook paper.
This one's pretty, honey.
I like that one, Mommy.
You could be missing out on some great back-to-school looks.
Notebook paper. Notebook
These
paper.
prices are great, Alice.
Dad, I've got to have these high tops.
What's wrong with low tops?
They're like yours, Dad.
Notebook
Sooner
paper.
or later,
How
it'll hit
cute
you.
and cheap.
So why wait?
Get a good look at Zayre.
In late 1955, Stop & Shop Inc. approached Stanley Fehlberg and Sumner Fehlberg with an offer to build them a store alongside a new Stop & Shop supermarket to be constructed in Hyannis, Massachusetts. You're probably wondering, why would a supermarket chain want to offer anyone to build them a store? Well, Stanley H. Fehlberg and Sumner A. Fehlberg were the sons of the founders of Bell Shops, a large chain of women's specialty shops in New England and the Northeast. In June of 1956, the Hyannis Zayre opened with 5,000 square foot of retail space. So where did they get that name? One day, the Fehlbergs and Bert Stern, an advertising consultant, were casting around for possible names for the new operation when Max, the regional founder, broke off to take a call. He ended his phone call with a typical Yiddish phrase, "sehr gut," or very good. Stern repeated, "Zayre," where we needed a nice sounding name. The men stared at one another. Zayre, let's spell it Zayre, Z-A-Y-R-E. For very good, they decided. The store was soon expanded to 7,500 and then 10,000 square feet and was replaced in 1962 with a 45,000 square foot unit directly behind it. A second Zayre store opened in September of 1956 in Boston, a much larger 39,000 square foot building. Within a few years, Zayre stores would average 70 to 90,000 square feet. After a careful period of initial growth through the end of the 1950s, Zayre began to expand rapidly. Only 6 Zayre stores operated in 1959, approximately the same time that Zayre's volume reached that of the Bell Shops and the Nugent's shops. By 1962, there were 27 Zayre stores open, with 10 to 20 new ones added annually for many years afterwards. That same year, Zayre Corp. became a public company and began trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Beginning in 1960, Zayre embarked on a program to open stores in major markets all across the eastern half of the United States, with a presence in nearly every state east of the Mississippi River by the middle of the decade. The company opened new stores in clusters so as to maximize brand presence and advertising efficiency. By the end of 1966, Zayre had 92 stores. Some of the growth came through acquisition. Several locations were acquired through the bankruptcies of discount chains, Tower Marts in 1963, and Consumer Mart of America in 1965. In December of 1966, Zayre bought out Northern Enterprise Inc., owner of 4 Shopper City stores in Duluth, Minneapolis, and St. Paul, Minnesota, rebranding the stores as Zayre's Shopping City Stores. In Zayre's early years, the store's product mix leaned heavily towards soft lines due to the Fehlbergs' experience in fashion, gained through the years of operating the Bell Shops and Nugent stores. As the 60s progressed, Zayre's product offering more closely resembled that of a typical discount store, with toys, sporting goods, records, books, health and beauty products, and much more. A number of these departments were leased out to concessionaires during Zayre's first decade, including linens, greeting cards, candy, and health and beauty items, totaling nearly a third of Zayre store revenues. Zayre stores featured frequent flashing light 15-minute specials with live recorded public address announcements meant to build excitement and drive traffic to specific departments, similar to Kmart's blue light specials. Zayre's slogan in the 1960s was "Fabulous Department Stores," followed in the early 70s with "Compare, you can't do better than Zayre." Zayre was the only one of a few stores to remain open 24 hours a day during the weeks preceding Christmas each year. By the end of the 1960s, Zayre Corporation diversified into specialty retailing. In 1969, Zayre Corp bought the Hit or Miss chain and began its exploration of the off-price fashion market. Zayre's timing could not have been better. During the recession of the 1970s, Hit or Miss results climbed so rapidly that Zayre Corp considered expanding its off-price upscale apparel merchandising. Zayre first attempted to buy the Marshalls chain, already established as a retailer of the off-price apparel for the whole family. When that effort failed, the company hired Ben Camarada to essentially create a Marshalls cologne. In March of 1977, he opened the first TJ Maxx, quickly followed by a second store. The stores were an instant hit with customers, including middle to upper middle income shoppers, providing the perfect solution to the heightening demand for quality fashions at reasonable prices with an ever-changing fresh assortment. In 1983, Chadwick of Boston began to sell selected hit-or-miss items through the mail-order catalogs. Hit or Miss and Chadwick's crossover operations allowed customers to handle products before ordering and brought the frequent buyer the convenience of home shopping. At the same time, however, Zayre was renovating its discount department stores and expanding its product mix. In 1984, Zayre entered the membership warehouse club market, launching BJ's Wholesale Club, and also acquired Home Club Inc., a chain of home improvement stores, the following year. While neither of these ventures were immediately profitable, Hit or Miss and TJ Maxx continued to thrive. In 1986, profits of the Zayre chain, targeting low to middle income customers, dropped, although TJ Maxx, Hit or Miss, and Chadwick's of Boston, targeting mid to higher income customers, continued to grow. That year alone, Zayre Corp opened 35 more TJ Maxx stores and 31 new Hit or Miss stores. In fact, Zayre's off-price retailing chains were so successful that by 1987, Zayre thought it prudent to organize them under one name and grant them autonomy from the decreasingly prosperous parent company. In June of 1987, just 10 years after its flagship chain, TJ Maxx, opened its first store, the TJX Companies, Inc. was established as a subsidiary of Zayre's. At the same time, Zayre started to lose business. Observers blamed technological inferiority, poor maintenance, inappropriate pricing, and inventory pileups and speculated Zayre was ripe for takeover. Throughout all this, the subsidiary, the TJX Companies, continued to yield a profit. In October of 1988, Zayre Corporation decided to focus its energies on TJX. It sold the entire chain of nearly 400 Zayre stores to Ames Department Stores. In exchange, the company received $431 million in cash, a receivable note, and what was then valued at $140 million of Ames Commutative Senior Convertible Preferred Stock. Zayre Corp merged with TJX and changed its name from Zayre Corporation to the TJX Companies, Inc. In April of 1990, TJX established a $185 million reserve against its Ames preferred stock and contingent lease liabilities on former Zayre stores as a result of Ames' announcement of continued poor performance. That same month, Ames filed for protection from creditors under Chapter 11 bankruptcy. By 1990, all Zayre stores had been closed or converted into Ames stores, and what had once been America's fifth largest discount retailer was no more.
Year's deduct an additional 25%, even on items already reduced 1/4, 1/3, and 1/2. It's the Zayre sale you'll never forget. Nothing held back, everything. Come in now. 73 stores of Zayre's are going out of business.
Hey, if you just watched my video, thanks for watching. Hit that like button and please subscribe to Eric C. Productions.